Okay, welcome to our meeting. We're happy to be here at the Petaluma campus. We acknowledge that we gather at Santa Rosa Junior College on the territorial land of the Pomo people in Santa Rosa and the Coast Miwok people in Petaluma, past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded it through the generation. Thank you for attending, those of you who are here in person, and then also those of you who are attending remotely. We thank you for your patience during this time. Our board is committed to the continued education and safety of our students, faculty, staff, and community stakeholders. The Sonoma County Public Health Officer has issued recommendations for public meetings available on their website, which all participants are urged to follow. Whether you're here in person or remote, please wait to speak until you are called on by the chair. If you are attending remotely, you cannot see other attendees nor use the chat function to speak to each other. As always, the board requests that presenters keep all presentations to the following time limits: 3 minutes for public comments, 5 minutes for monthly updates, 8 minutes for board presentations, employee of the month, and special presentations. Public comment will be allowed at appropriate times. If you would like to make an in-person public comment, there are cards to fill out. I already have one here that's available that you can fill out if you're here to make a public comment. For remote public comment, there was the option to submit comments by email or phone prior to the meeting, or please raise your hand. You'll see a button at the bottom of your screen. And if you're dialing in, you can use *9 on your phone. So thank you very much. Starting out, we have no reportable actions taken in closed session, and moving on to approval of the minutes. I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes from September.
Second.
All right, and then we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. We're good. Okay. Next, we have one of the best things about the meeting every month. We have our Employee of the Month for October, and presenting that is going to be Jeremy Smotherman. Welcome, Jeremy.
I'm not the one that deserves any of the applause, but thank you. Thank you, Board President Banfield, Board of Trustees, Dr. Chong. I am very privileged today to be here to present Employee of the Month to Emil Gerke. Emil has been an instrumental part of the Office of Institutional Research for the past 3 years. One of the things about institutional research is that we tend to be invisible. We are always in the background. We are working on the data. We are working on information that really supports what's going on inside the SRJC in the district. And in Emil's position as the coordinator for the Career Technical Education Employment Outcome Survey with the Chancellor's Office, he represents SRJC beyond just the borders of our district. He represents us on a statewide component of everything that goes on. And not only does he represent SRJC, he also represents SRJC Petaluma, since he does work in the Office of Institutional Research housed here at Petaluma. So whenever he goes out, whenever people understand what's going on with CTEOS, that's the face of Emil, and that's the face of SRJC, and that's the face of SRJC Petaluma. So his time and commitment and his dedication, not only inside of the office where he provides an invaluable resource to all members of the research staff, he provides an invaluable resource to literally the entire state. And so that's why I think he's extremely well deserving of being Employee of the Month. And I'm very glad and honored to present this to him right now. So with that said, where is Emil? So before you have your words, just really quick, here's a gift certificate to the Culinary Cafe. Tickets for SRT. The office staff and members of Petaluma band together to give you an additional $200 of a gift card as a thank you. And of course, you have your plaque. Thank you very much, Emil. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smotherman, for those very kind words and for the applause and the opportunity to be here. For those that don't know me, I graduated from Santa Rosa Junior College, I think sometime around 2002. When I attended the Petaluma campus, there was about the two buildings out front and the bookstore. And, life brought me all types of places. I was in the Peace Corps in the Republic of Georgia. I earned my bachelor's from UC Irvine. I earned my master's from the New School in New York. And then I went to Long Island with my wife when she was working on her PhD at Stony Brook University. And I came back to this campus and I couldn't believe what had changed and how this campus looks now. And to be here and accepting this in the new Student Center is a great honor. This is such a great space and I'm so proud to be a part of this community. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much and congratulations and thank you for all you do for us. All right, now moving on to public comments. I have one yellow card. I'll call on them first. Beatrice Camargo and Loretta Esparza.
Good afternoon, esteemed Board of Trustees, Dr. Chong, and college community. My name is Beatriz Camargo. I am the coordinator for the high school equivalency program, which serves migrant farm workers with the goal of obtaining a high school equivalency certificate. I am also the president for the Latinx Faculty and Staff Association.
And I am Loretta Esparza, and I am Public Services Librarian and the Lanzamiento Librarian, and also Vice President for LFSA.
And so we are here today to provide a statement of support for undocumented students, and we have a statement that we want to read on behalf of the LFSA executive team. We, the LFSA executive team and membership, stand in support and solidarity with undocumented students at SRJC and at large in the United States. Despite the appalling ruling which deems DACA unlawful, we urge our SRJC community to stand in solidarity and continue to uphold SRJC as a safe haven for undocumented students. We want to thank Dr. Chung for sending out a statement of support to the college community supporting DACA students. We urge the district and the Board of Trustees to continue to strengthen the resources necessary to ensure undocumented students are able to continue their education. This ruling continues to create citizenship uncertainty in families with mixed status. The fear and anxiety students face is a trigger for unbalanced mental health, which is a barrier to student success and focus and contributes to increased levels of attrition amongst our Latinx students. Thus, we urge SRJC to strengthen our mental health services and applaud the hiring of additional bilingual, bicultural staff who can address the growing mental health and needs of our students.
We also urge members of the college community to support our scholarship programs, which help the undocumented students. And lastly, we want to invite all members of the college community and members of other affinity groups to stand in solidarity with our undocumented students and to learn and stay informed on how we can best support this vulnerable population. And you can do that by attending free webinars during Undocumented Student Action Week, which runs October 17th through the 21st. And more information about these resources can be found on SRJC's Dream Center webpage. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else in person for public comment? I don't have any other cards, but do we have anybody? All right, do we have anybody remotely signed up? Don't see anybody. Okay, I am going to close public comment then and move on to monthly updates, reports from members of the Board of Trustees and others, starting with our college president report, Dr. Chong.
Good afternoon, everybody, members of the board, college community. Today's the day I want to announce my retirement. It's time. After 12 years and more than a decade of serving this college, it's been an honor and a privilege. And I'm really proud of all that we have accomplished during that time. And I want to thank the board and everybody in this room and on the Zoom for all your support, challenging me to be a better leader, a better person. And, I really feel I came and accomplished what I came here to do. And that was to really try to leave the place better than it when I founded it. And I really believe that, not just because of the buildings that were built through Measure H, which I'm profoundly proud of, but the look and of who's in the college now and who's leading the college. And I feel this is the right time to hand off the mantle to the next person. And I feel really comfortable with the leaders that I see in the audience, that you are going to continue to make SRJC the great college that it is. And, it's been a great ride. And I always felt like, I wanted to leave kind of on top, so to speak. And it was really challenging during the fires and during the COVID. But I really feel proud of our college community that we didn't tear apart, we came together. And so there's so many things and so many thanks and gratitude I feel in my heart right now. But I'm really leaning, my wife and I, we're a team, and we're not going to be strangers. We plan on staying in Petaluma, staying in Sonoma County, staying involved. And so the next 8 months, I'm going to be working till the job is done, till it's time to turn the lights out. So I want to again emphasize that the board has been well prepared to begin the search. They only hire one person. I think President Battenfeld will talk to you more about that later. So I think the transition is going to be very, very seamless, very, very seamless. So, it's just great. And I'll just end with a quote by the late Kobe Bryant. He said, "You always think you have more time." So it's my time, and I'm ready to go, but I'll be with you for the next 8 months, and much love to all of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, I'm afraid the rest of you are going to have to follow your reports. I'm sure it's going to be hard to follow. Anyway, we still have our meeting. So bond update with Serafin Fernandez.
All right. Hate to be next to this one, but here I am. Good afternoon, President Badenfeld, members of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Chong, and esteemed college, SRJC college community. I'm proud to be here today making this report, especially since we are hosting the meeting in a location that has been brought to you by Measure H. So I was going to put a slide together, but then I said, hey, what better presentation than the physical space? So look around you. Everything you see in here, the spaces, everything is a Measure H project brought to you, like I said, not only by Measure H, but a lot of great people that had vision and worked together. A lot of coordination took place, but talking to some of the student success team members today, it sounds like it's a great success for Petaluma and for SRJC. Also here at the Petaluma campus, we are working on the construction center. We have received approval from DSA on the design plans, and we have submitted the plans for review and approval also by our sponsoring agency, the Economic Development Administration, EDA. Upon their approval, we will put the project out to bid. I'm also happy to say that we submitted a request for additional funds due to the cost of increase of cost of construction to the EDA, and we were successful in securing an additional $3.9 million for the project. Great thank yous to Catherine Williams, who was very instrumental in putting together the package and securing these funds. We plan to put the project out to bid in December of this year, start construction in March of next year, and hopefully have a ribbon cutting ceremony in June of 2024. Also at here at the Petaluma campus, we are working on relocating the tutorial center to Mahoney Library permanently. We will relocate the media services department from where they currently are into Call Building and bring together the tutorial center and the library center at Mahoney. At the Santa Rosa campus, part of the planning that's going on is we are planning to demolish Barnett building. This building's life has come to an end as well. And so we are feverishly working to relocate the occupants at this time. So ESL will be moving temporarily into Lark Hall, and HEP will also move temporarily into Annalee Village, where the foundation staff currently is, once the foundation staff moves into their new location. And then their final and permanent home will be at Cooney Hall, first floor. So we will be doing some renovations to the first floor of Cooney Hall after the STEM building is complete. And then we will relocate these two departments, in addition to the ethnic studies faculty, into Cooney Hall. Projects in construction, Busman IT area is currently under construction. Asbestos abatement is complete, and so we're in the process of demolishing the area. You do have on your agenda today a change order, a very small change order for $2,879. We had some additional demolition that we had to do. And so that brings our change order percentage to 0.55%. The Towser Gymnasium swing space at Annalee Village has started. We're almost complete with that demolition. That project is moving really fast. Again, just to remind everybody that we are making temporary space available here for the occupants of the Towser Gymnasium. Our plan is to move them in January. So taking them out of Towser building, and then allowing us to start the renovation of Towser building in the spring of next year. The Linley Center for STEM Education is making great progress. Again, we are getting the building exterior completed. The window framing actually already started. And then we're also moving really well inside with all of the interior framing and mechanical and electrical plumbing. I'm happy to say that we have had our classes start touring our buildings as part of their class instruction. Last week, we had the interior design and drafting class tour the building. The foundation building is also almost complete. We are looking for installation of power from PG&E in November and hoping to move in the staff at the end of the year. So we are tracking very well on this project. And you see some pictures of the foundation board and our board touring the site a couple of weeks ago. Want to thank everybody who attended the Garcia Hall ribbon cutting. This was a very successful event. We had a lot of people. It was really an enjoyable time. I want to bring your attention to the final change order for this project, Resolution 3122. This change order basically is reconciling the time extension and compensation for that time extension to the contractor. Also on your agenda today for approval is the purchase of the audiovisual equipment. that will go to Bloom Technology for $380,897. As shown farm, the cabinets were installed in September. We have all of the furniture and cabinetry now installed. And all of the work by our contractor, Ridgeview Builders, is actually complete. And so for that reason, we have the notice of completion on your agenda for approval. Now, as you're aware, we did have change orders over 10% on this project. And so we had additional change orders that we actually bid out. We felt that we can bid them out, get better pricing, then add it as an additional change order, increasing that percentage of change orders to Ridgeview's contract. And so we bid some of this work out, and that work is the plumbing, some plumbing work that still needs to be done on the project. So we bid that out separately, and Matrix AG is the low bidder for the plumbing installation. So you have that contract on your agenda today for approval for $141,000. One thing also they just want to provide as clarification is that we approve notices of completion based on contracts. And so the contract for Ridgeview Builders is now complete. The student housing project, I want to share some amazing images. Glad to also say that these images are a little bit outdated because we have more work that has been completed. The building has now topped out, meaning that all 5 floors are completely framed out from the exterior. And also the roof concrete has been poured. So this project is making great progress. Windows are actually being installed. Some of the interior finishes have started in restrooms. You also see another class that toured that building a week ago. This is our construction industry and building trades class. We had over 30 individuals, 30 students tour the site. Here are some other images from the interior that you get to see. And then finally, again, you have 7 items on your agenda for approval. I've gone through most of them. There's also the notice of completion for the district-wide outdoor Wi-Fi project. This is not a Measure H funded project. This was funded by CARES grant, but that project is complete and we're asking for your approval for notice of completion. And then also we're also asking for approval of the design build contract to FRC for the Emeritus Hall roofing and HVAC modernization. So that design build contract amount is for $7,490,276. Again, this is the complete modernization of the mechanical systems, HVAC, as well as the roof, a complete replacement. And that does conclude my report unless you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. And do we have any board member questions? Thank you very much. All right, we do not have a Schoen Farm site update today. So I am going to move on to the student trustee report. Trustee Delashay Carmona Benson.
Okay, thank you, President Dorothy and the board and Dr. Chong. Oh, can't even say Dr. Chong, you're gonna make me cry. Okay, and the college community, thank you for being here. Quite a bit of a report, been a busy bee this month. One of the things that I managed to do was to get elected as our new RAD for Region 2. I'm over 14 colleges now at the SSCCC. So I plan to bring SRJC's voice to 14 colleges. In taking my position, one of the things that I started was our Student Trustee Council, and we have kicked off tremendously. We have positions filled to represent our Black students, our reentry students, our APATH students, our Latinx students. We just got a sign on for our Native American students, our international students, our LGBTQIA2+. I hope I said all those numbers and letters right. Our recovering students, our sports students, our second chance students, And we plan to have even more student representation as the council grows so that we can get the perspective of all of our students and hear how all the different areas of students and learning community students are doing. Our Latinx rep has already put it together in Ole Ole Viva la Fiesta event. You guys will be hearing about that very soon. Our first event was going to be with our very own Congressman Thompson, and sadly it has been canceled. But surely we can move it to another date after all. But we are also having a tea with tea, and I hope everyone is listening on this one. The tea with tea is where you get to sponsor a table at this event. We are inviting all of you guys, anyone who wants to have a table, to please come be part of it. You will be in charge of the table decorations and feeding and your guests at the table. You're sponsoring your table. I hope that the board is willing to have a table there. That would be great to have you guys all there. That's just some of the fun events. Also Flip, I talked to our Flip students, which is our first generation students, and they are having a Halloween party this month with a live band. Can you believe that? A live band coming to SRJC. It seems like we're getting back to normal here. I'm the president of our Disabled Student Coalition, and we're going to be having a prom soon that you guys will be hearing about soon. And we also are, with the help of our great advisor, Kim Starkey, we're going to be teaching our DRD students about their ADA rights and their 9+1 rights. I've been speaking to our BSU students who are really concerned about the staffing at our Salabona Center. How we need more staffing in there. Regina, obviously, it's such a success in there. It's such a success. And so we need some more staffing in there. Also, the Student Trustee Council is going to be working on some resolutions this week in our meeting. And one of the resolutions for sure is bringing more all gender bathrooms to our campus. Also, we would like the quad that's in front of Bernalini to be officially called the Pomo Quad. So we'll be writing a resolution on that as well. So you'll be hearing about that. And one of the things that I asked the board that I was able to do was to acknowledge one of our students every month. And so this month, I would like to acknowledge our very own Felix. Felix is actually here today. If you could stand up, Felix Santiago, pronouns they, them. They are studying psychology. They've been here since 2017 and has been a student working with the Queer Resource Center. Felix has been on the Queer Action and Family and also a member of our Student Trustee Council repping LGBTQ, also was a member of MECHA and the LGBTQIA2+ President Committee, and has also been a member of our SGA a few times. And also the plans are to transfer to a four-year college and to study in Mexico and continue to serve their own community. When Felix is not busy, which I personally know Felix very well, and that is a very odd moment. Felix is at home with Horkan, their dog, and that's it. Felix, can we give Felix a hand? And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to move on to board member comments. And I'm going to start to begin with, as president, thanking Dr. Chong for his years of service and dedication to SRJC. And, I think we'll have lots of time since I'm still counting on him being here and working hard on behalf of the board for the next academic year. Lots of times to reflect on his accomplishments and celebrate as we continue our work this year. But also to, just let everybody know that the board is going to be engaging in a hiring process to seek a highly qualified and diverse group of candidates. Of course, we will be soliciting input from the SRJC community at many various stages of the recruitment and hiring process. And to get that going, I am going to be appointing an ad hoc committee of the board that is going to develop a clear process and a clear timeline. And I'm going to ask the ad hoc committee to present that to the board in November and to approve that so that it'll be a clear, transparent process and timeline that will go through that will again get us the pool of great pool of candidates. And again, I think we will have an excellent pool of candidates. We're an excellent educational institution. You know, just from all the state task forces I'm involved in the meetings, you know, we really do have an excellent reputation as a college. A lot of that, of course, is due to all of you here, all the staff, faculty at our institution. I mean, everywhere I go, they talk about, you know, the JC being a role model, the prizes, the awards that we get for our innovations, for our work. So I think because of who we are, because we have a great engaged student body, we have really, really strong community support. And so I think that's really going to, I feel real confident, you know, about the process and about the fact that, you know, we really will be able to this summer have a new superintendent president who will really continue our tradition of excellence and service to our community. And again, thanks to Dr. Chong very much. And so, Eddie, thank you. So if there are any other board member comments?
I'm going to be really nice, okay? Actually, I had an opportunity to be on the hiring committee when we hired Dr. Chong just a few years ago, or was that over a decade and a half ago or so? And it was quite a process we went through because we had a lot of candidates that came to the table and interviewed, and we just didn't feel we had found the right person, and we went onward from there, and found Dr. Chong, and he's done a great job for us. He's represented us so well in the community, and very, very proud to say that I had an opportunity to sit in on that hiring committee that hired you, and thank you for all that you have done for our college and our community.
Anybody else? I don't know.
Oh. Well, there were a number of things I was going to say, but you know me, you sort of get me, right? Sometimes the raw me. I'm the only trustee that ever cries at a meeting, right? Twice. But that's okay. You know, I just want to say to you that this one huge job the board has, this responsibility that is above all other responsibilities that we have. We make jokes that, you know, Dr. Chong calls all of us boss, and he's our one employee. But the process we're going to go through is going to be so much easier because of all of you. And I really mean that. I mean, the whole college community and Trustee Battenfeld referred to it is the quality of the school, the quality of the reputation of the school. You're going to make our lives easier, and I thank you for that, and I appreciate that. Now I'm going to go to the regular board comments I was going to make if I'm allowed to. Is that okay? I went and saw Stand and Deliver, and it was awesome. And thank you. Went to Schoen Farm, and that was awesome. And I also want to give a shout out to all of you that supported SRJC Petaluma's fundraiser a couple weeks ago. We had lots of staff and faculty, and the whole community came out and supported, and it was awesome. And the community was responsive and generous with us. And so thank you for that.
Did I do it right? Well, I wasn't gonna say anything to you, Frank, because I didn't want to get teary-eyed, but since I see that it's okay. Okay. So I just want to tell everybody that Frank grew on me. Um, when I first started as a student, I blamed Frank for everything. If it was raining, if I woke up late, if the food sucked in the cafeteria, I blamed him for everything. And I just thought that he was to blame for everything. And I learned quickly that you don't run the school, but you do a really good job of trying. And I love that. And also, for those who don't know me, I'm Afro-Latina, and that Latina part is Puerto Rican. Now, a lot of you guys are probably used to Mexicans. That's a whole nother aspect. But to deal with a Puerto Rican, only Frank and maybe Robert and Byron in this room can tell you about that. And that's not an easy task. And Frank has done it with ease and with grace. And Lord knows I have been wrong on so many occasions and had to eat it. But he served it so well with a nice little platter and silverware. And you have set the bar high. And I really look forward to being on any part of this hiring committee because I don't know if I'm just going to sit back and watch. And hilariousness is who's going to fill those shoes because you really made those shoes pretty big. I never thought at 53 I could say that I could grow more because, you know, when you're Afro-Latina and Puerto Rican, you think you know it all. But Frank definitely has taught me a lot in these past 3 years. And I really want to take the time to thank you for that. And what Frank told me, yeah, you guys, I knew he was retiring. Wasn't I good? I didn't even tell you guys. But so what Frank told me was to make these next 8 months fantastic. So I will tell you guys to strap on your seatbelts. It's going to be a ride. Thank you. And thank you, Frank.
Okay, trustee Martinez.
I'm gonna try not to cry, but it's kind of hard. It is. Um, I'm like the youngest on the board, and there's the professional, there's the I'm your boss, and there's the just friend. And I have seen the college transition through so many things, and especially within the Latino community and the space that you created for us. And of course, we're gonna complain because we always complain. It's never enough. But it isn't just one person's job. It is all of our jobs. But as a professional, I thank you for the guidance, opening, just like Adela shared, just you always have to learn, you always have to grow. But I think it's the honesty, the transparency, the respect that you've shown me. Bring, you know, even when I came in and said I was going to be part of the board, you were very honest that I wanted to be on the board. You were very honest and transparent and shared how tough this job was going to be. And I was very grateful for that. I'm grateful that I came into a board that is open, respectful, especially of you, the decisions that you've made, that we've made collectively. It really has been eye-opening. I work in higher ed, I work in student affairs. I've worked in all of the systems. I see a lot of things, and trust me when I say that this place is in a better place than so many, not just what it was before, but throughout the state. And I could say actually even outside of the state, you have developed and the institution has developed so many amazing individuals. And like I say, I take it for my little part from my Roseland, from Southwest, and from the Latino community and Latina community. You know, I come here and I share all the time of what they're doing, how they're doing. And that's because you've been in the lead of transforming the institution and honoring what an HSI is and working to make it a tribal entity, an MSI, all of those things that are not just words and acronyms, but actually that we reflect that. And so I thank you for that. And as also as a trustee, I thank you for that. I thank you for not blocking us from making decisions that could be seen as radical or just controversial to really help our institution transform. to create student leaders in this community. And I will tell you this one last thing, as someone who knows and was mentored by your sister, she would be extremely proud. So thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Benuelos?
I was trying, well, first of all, I want to say thank you to Dr. Chong. Thank you. Since I've been on the board, you've been welcoming from day one. The day I was elected, I think you called me that night. But even before that, I had met Dr. Chong long before when he first came here to Sonoma County, and you've always been welcoming, always inviting me and many people from our community, the Latino community in particular, to different events and for no reason, just to be inclusive from day one. And so I want to thank you for that. And I want to, I guess, just kind of echo some of the things that have already been said about this being the biggest job that we have. Dr. Chong has been trying to prepare us for a long time now. And my only regret, of course, is that I only get to serve with you for a short time. But I have learned so much from you in the short time. And I think Trustee Martinez is absolutely right that you've allowed us to be who we are. And I just appreciate that, that I never felt like I couldn't vote the way I needed to and to be who I am. And that really goes a long way, I think, for any trustee or any elected official for that matter. And I'm just want to reassure you all that I think that we take this next big job really seriously, and there's such big shoes to fill, so big. So I don't know if we'll find another Dr. Chong, but we will do our best to find the best applicant out there. And I think Dr. Chong's right that right now at this moment, this college, this institution is in the best place. And a lot of it is because of you and all of you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Peer pressure. I'll go fast. I'll go real fast. I just want to plus one what everyone's already said. I think it's pretty clear here that what you brought to the college, what you bring is going to be hard to fill, and also really a legacy that you're leaving behind. And just really quickly, I think I can just also plus one your steer and your leadership for me. I think I'm the newest one on the board, started at day one and has continued throughout. And I don't take that for granted. I appreciate it. And I think it means a big deal to me having attended the JC. And now I'm here in a position to elect the new president. That swirls pretty heavily in my mind. And I think you've given me a lot of confidence to be able to do that. You've given me a voice at this table. You'll call me and tell me where I'm right and where you think I'm wrong. And you've helped me grow, in a very short amount of time. And I think I just want to make sure that we pause for a second and recognize that on a very humanistic level, you're above and beyond just what that job description says. And we just have to be really thankful for that. Really, really thankful for that. So thanks.
Thank you. Moving on to reports. I get to chair this meeting. All right, Academic Senate, Nancy Persons.
Good afternoon. Before I begin my report and the timer starts, I'd just like to say something to Dr. Chong, if that's all right. Dr. Chong, I distinctly remember when you came for your open forum after your interview, and you may have heard this story, but others haven't. And I heard that, if I may, lovely New York accent come out of your mouth. And being from Long Island myself, I naturally stepped up to the microphone and asked you the very professional question, Yankees or Mets? To which you said, I'm an eternal optimist, so of course I'm a Mets fan. So Dr. Chong, I'm really sorry about the Mets. You definitely deserve better. So thank you. In all seriousness, I want to thank you for your service. I want to thank you for your optimism and your attitude and all the good advice you've given me over the years, whether in this position or any other. Okay, so Board President Battenfeld, Dr. Chong, trustees, college community, it is my sincere pleasure to meet with you all here in Petaluma, where I began my career at SRJC 20 years ago, almost to this date. Spent 6 months with the temporary library in this very building. I will now share with you some specific information regarding our academic senate work, but I ask that you take the time to read my full report I've sent to Zara, as it contains the full text of comments shared regarding the new SRJC mission statement on your agenda today. Faculty and senators expressed a strong desire that you consider their input as you work on our new mission, vision, value statement. So I have provided you several pages of verbatim testimony from them. I'm only going to read a couple of excerpts out of this report because I really want to spend my time focusing on one agenda item that we recently discussed, which is guided pathways. With regard to accreditation, we've made significant progress toward addressing the requirements identified by the Accrediting Commission over the past month. This week, the Academic Senate Exec Committee, or ASEC, will appoint a number of faculty to this group, a work group that was approved. So these individuals will collaborate with our BPAA and new SLO coordinators to identify strategies for achieving the requirements set forth by the ACCJC. We're looking forward to hearing from the group and providing input towards this goal. Last week, the body also moved to permanently increase the size of the ASCC from 3 members to 6. The body further called for us to establish a work group to design proposed language to amend our bylaws to reflect this change. This is especially gratifying to me as there is a very heavy workload associated with the Academic Senate Executive Service, and there's great value in diversifying the range of expertise and ideas this larger group offers, in addition to making it possible to share this workload a bit. On to guided pathways. First, I just want to commend the Academic Senate senators last week for what I think was probably one of the more inspiring conversations I've ever had the privilege of being present at. The ASCC met twice with representatives of the ASCCC, Academic Senate for the California Community Colleges, to prepare for this guided pathways initial discussion. We have such a large outstanding balance of funds from the first round of funding of the initiative, and we're poised now to receive a second round of funds. SRJC has labored long and somewhat fitfully over guided pathways. Over the past year, we've put 5 projects into place which are ongoing but need more support. We sought the advice of ASCCC in helping us strategize for an effective discussion and action regarding guided pathways at SRJC. And I'm pleased to say that the first full discussion of this topic at our October 5th meeting was thoughtful, focused, and rich with ideas. We acknowledge that to date, our guided pathways efforts have been largely faculty driven and conversation around them largely limited to a curricular focus. The intent of guided pathways is to move beyond curriculum to hold high expectations for student achievement while providing commensurate support services to make this achievement possible. Senators noted that having a guided pathways liaison to facilitate effective communication at SRJC would be helpful. They also commented that guided pathways needs an official home at the college, that guided pathways need a strong faculty voice, while others expressed the need to expand participation in guided pathways efforts to include our classified professionals and administrators. Senators suggested that by creating a district-wide committee of some type, we could help prevent duplication of efforts such as that we have seen recently by 2 different groups addressing student support services. Senators supported the continuation of a guided pathways effort led by the Academic Senate, but there were many comments indicating support for and the necessity of broadening participation in this effort to include our classified professional colleagues, administrators, and students if the systemization of guided pathways is to be a success here. Multiple other comments noted that there are many classified professionals, especially in student services, who interact closely with students on a regular basis, and that these professionals can play an important role in helping determine recommendations. Others noted that part of the Chancellor's vision was the systemization of guided pathways support for students, but what we do locally is a decision we need to make based on our programs and our student body. Well, that went quite fast. I have like 10 more pages to read, but I won't. I do want to mention Dr. John Stover, a senator and the executive secretary to the ASCC, who is recognized multiple times, and I do so now, for his dedication to the coordination of our Guided Pathways efforts in his unofficial role as Guided Pathways liaison. His efforts gave us an idea of what we could accomplish if we were to formalize the position of GP coordinator. Executive Dean Matthew Long has also provided significant support, for which I thank him. Senators noted that we need an established conduit, that the projects in place now are not one-offs, that these efforts should be seen as a living, breathing thing. Senators indicated they want to see the academic senate ensure that recommendations that were made are carried forward. For example, part of the mapping and scheduling project was set aside. This was disappointing, and the academic senate, through input to a formalized committee, could make recommendations to keep such projects moving forward. I have a lot more comments to make, but I'm not going to abuse my time. And I know you all know how to read, so I want to thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Classified Senate, Debbie Weatherly.
Good afternoon, Board President Battenfield, Board of Trustees, Dr. Chong, and colleagues. Congratulations to Emil Gerke for the honor of being awarded Employee of the Month, and nicely done. I love that they picked somebody from Petaluma for that award. Our next event will be on Halloween, and we are hosting a luncheon potluck with a costume contest that is open to all, not just classified. This was a past tradition in our district, and we are happy to bring it back. Look for more information as the day draws closer. Classified Senate also will be orchestrating Giving Tree once again. And while the holidays may seem to still be far off, we must start this process early to be successful. So look for the emails on that. Vice President Holcomb attended our recent Classified Senate meeting. There were enrollment updates on the work group and SLO accreditation progress, and some discussion of what it might take to reach fiscal stability. Sandy Segala, our SEIU president, also attended and gave us a brief update on the current elections for SEIU with a call out to fill seats. Classified Senate encourages working in collaboration with SEIU to make classified representation strong in both camps. Our Senate is working on the draft of a new constitution and bylaws. We will be bringing it forward when we have completed our task. We are looking forward to working smarter with less and looking at what we as a Senate may not be doing anymore. The statewide classified Senate, which is 4CS, that I am proudly a 4CS President Emeritus from, has been selected to manage a grant from Institute for Evidence-Based Change, IEBC, in the amount of $367,000. The key outcomes for this grant are to include institutionalize and sustain caring campus at California's community colleges, support the development of a management infrastructure to support caring campus California transitioning to the California Community Colleges Classified Senate, implement a professional development program designed to foster and support leadership roles among the classified professionals at California's community colleges. So we're very excited about that. At the last 4CS board meeting, our interim chancellor, Daisy Gonzalez, was in attendance and spoke of her support for classified professionals. She responded favorably to many questions asked of our constituent group. And while I attended on Zoom, Kathy Matthews actually was there as our area representative and attended this meeting in Sacramento. Classified Senate was invited to participate with the Chancellor's office on a Zoom session. This was an opportunity for feedback for the search for a new chancellor from classified professionals. There were many concerns and suggestions in the selection of our new chancellor. Now that would have concluded my report had Dr. Chong not made his announcement. Although I knew about it earlier, I didn't put anything in my report because I didn't know when he was going to tell us. So, Dr. Chong, thank you for your service here. I also was on the hiring committee with Terry, and I seem to remember a promise being made to us that you would stay as long as the other presidents. Do you remember that, Terry? There was something said? Yeah, see, we're in agreement. See, we can take advantage of that. So, you know, we're really sorry to see you go. We understand. But remember, your work isn't over yet. I know you're going golfing this weekend to the golf tournament, but your work is not over. You have a few months to put in, okay? So you always say that we're your boss. So we're holding you to that. So we're hoping that you have a wonderful retirement, but remember, it's a few months away. Thank you.
Thank you. The student government, Abria Tillman. Yeah, right. Yeah. If you go up there, because that's where the cameras are, and that helps for the folks who are on Zoom to see you.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Abria Tillman. I am the Student Governing Assembly President at SRJC, and I am going to give you guys my report. This is my second report, I think, this year, but my first time in person, so thank you for having me. Dr. Chung, hate to see you go, but we have a meeting next month, so I'm still going to see you. Also, it was very lovely to hear our student trustee, Delashay, recognize Felix. Hey, hi. Happy National Coming Out Day. It was awesome. Okay, so at SGA, we have had some special guests, which has been great. Our latest one has been Byron Reeves, who is our brand new interim senior dean of students. And it was lovely to have him there. A lot of support, a lot of love. And we look forward to the collaboration that's going to come from that. We also had Art H from the Windsor Public Safety and Training Center come by. We also had Jeremy Smotherman come by. We had a representative from the foundation come by, and also someone from the housing branding come by and do a special report. So if anyone would like any type of student inquiry of some sort, SGA is the great way to start. And so we love to have people come and just do a special report, and you could talk about whatever concept you want to bring forth. But thank y'all for coming, those who did. As far as reports, we go into reports, and all of my committee, all of my VPs have their committees off and running. So I'm very proud. We have a full list of student officers ready to act on behalf of the students. So it's heartwarming and it's incredible. And I'm so excited and very proud. And so on Mondays, we have Dewan in Petaluma. If you want to know about what's going on in Petaluma, come to that meeting on Monday. On Tuesday, Maddie, our EVP, is having our student, oh, I always say the wrong thing. It's SRC, our Student Representative Council. If you would want to talk about policies, procedures, changes, we're going to talk to them on Tuesday. Jimmy and Dory, Jimmy has our finance committee. If you want to talk to SGA or you want to see about SGA's budget, you can come on Wednesdays in the morning. In the afternoon, you could talk to Dory. That's when we have our ICC meetings. On Thursday, Melissa has her student life committee meetings if you want to know about student life. And last but not least, on Fridays, we council. Also, we're going to continue in the Senate chambers, but we are accessible forever. We have with the flip. Very excited as people are very about fundraising. Hosting noon over at the pub so that we can get and get more involved. When Art came, he mentioned that they would involve students have some food and resources as well. So the ways we're going to try to help in that way. Office hours over there. We're going to be doing some for SGA. We will be with PR to promote resources and any other student engagement, including surveys and volunteer opportunity. Look for it's called SGA Thursdays, and what's new at SGA monthly, weekly, instead. So look forward to October's Spirit Week coming very soon on both the Santa Rosa campus and the Petaluma campus. And when I say soon, I mean about 2 weeks. It's going to be spooky everything. Also, we did approve 3 students and 1 advisor to go to the CCCSAA conference. in San Diego. So we look forward to all the information and leadership that they bring back. SGA meets Mondays from 3 to 5 in the academic senate. No, student senate. It's not academic senate, and it's just the Senate chambers, or on Zoom. If you want to know any other information, please look for us at the Santa Rosa Junior College website, SGA. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Let's see, we do not have an AFA report today. So move on to SEIU with Sandy Segala.
Where do I start? Do I start with you at the beginning or do I end with you? So I don't accept. I'm upset. I thought we were going to leave at the same time, Dr. Chong. We said 2 more years. So I'm a little upset about that, but I want to thank you for all of your leadership. My first meeting with you with my predecessor, I was fearful. I didn't know what to expect meeting with you. And I've learned a lot, and I've learned to work with you. You've been a great leader, good recommendations that I've learned from you. And I want to appreciate and thank you for everything that you've done on behalf of SEIU and Classified, with helping and understanding different things that we've gone through that I've been able to share with you. And I appreciate working with you. And with that, it's going to take me down to a topic I'm going to talk about depression. So I'm not saying I'm depressed, but I could be. So good afternoon, Board of Trustees Battenfield, President, and Board of Trustees Dr. Chong, and the students, our colleagues and community, and thank you for all of your attention today. So I just want to share a bit about mental health and well-being awareness. As students, our faculty and staff return to campus, and this month of September being Suicide Prevention Month, there were a few workshops that were held at the college on this subject. I attended as a president of SEIU local chapter seeking needed information. I attended the HOPE panel on September 28th, a conversation about suicide prevention. The workshop was put on by the Student Health Services and Student Government. The panel included Students for Recovery Second Chance with Jimmy Brock, the SGA Vice President of Finance, Student Trustee Delashay Carmona Benson, the licensed marriage family therapist, writer, director, and producer Diana L. Grayer, PhD, and the licensed therapist, Spanish-speaking Latinx, undocumented Native American and justice impacted populations, Brigida Aleman, and facilitated by student Maddie Cottrell, the SGA's Executive Vice President of Legislation and co-president of Queer Action Family and volunteer for Queer Resource Center. And it was presented in their Jean Erlenborn from Student Health Services Leadership. I attended this workshop out of interest to learn more about if someone is leading down this troubled path in a state of mental disorder, panic or anxiety, depression, grief of loss or identity struggles, including relationship difficulties and perhaps substance use. Given what I learned about this information, as though my work, I have noticed behavior and defensive mechanisms and how individuals connect or lack to connect, and how it affects others and how they perform, and has been very concerning. I feel encouraged by the district's opportunity for students and staff to obtain services like this, either through student health or the employee assistance program through HR. This is a very delicate subject, and we need to be mindful if we were trying to help individuals with these conditions, in particular, as we come back to be in-person work, whether we're in class or working together. So we need to be mindful we're not all okay. We have differences in how we feel. I walked away from this workshop with this in mind. Our mind is powerful to where it can destroy you. Mental health is human. Seek therapy for help. These types of workshops are very important health reminders for all of us. And with that, on another note, our SEIU Executive Council, which Debbie referred to, we're having our elections right now for 9 vacant positions. 1, the president's seat, my seat. 1, the vice president / negotiator. 3 negotiators, 3 job stewards, and 1 secretary. The deadline for individuals to submit candidacy statements are by noon this Friday, the 14th. October 17th, the statements will be posted and the results will be posted on November 3rd on the SEIU webpage. We are asking classified professionals to step up and get involved as we need your participation for contract and labor support. And this concludes my report. And thank you very much. And Dr. Chong, I'm not missing you yet, okay? You still have some time with me. Thank you.
Thank you. Our final report, management liaison team, Sarah Lagos.
Good afternoon, President Battenfeld, members of the board, Dr. Chong, and college community. Sometimes it's nice to go last because then you get a chance to gather your thoughts. So first of all, congratulations, Dr. Chong, on your retirement announcement. I couldn't help but think while I was sitting here listening to everyone talk about what your legacy is. And that is the hundreds of thousands of lives that you've changed over the course of your career. These are students who will never meet you, who will never know what you've done, but who've had their lives changed in some way by what you've done, which was to dedicate your career to higher education. So not many people can look back at their legacy and know that they had a hand in shaping others' lives and know that they had a chance to impact a student, which will multiply for generations. So thank you, Dr. Chong, for your service and commitment to these students. You are championing them and you've championed our college community. So thank you so much for that. And I'm looking forward to celebrating with you over the next couple of months. If you didn't spend Saturday, though, at Schoen Farm, you missed the biggest fall festival yet. Connor Murphy and the entire Schoen Farm team, led by Dean Benjamin Goldstein, hosted an estimated 3,000 Sonoma County residents at this annual event to showcase our agricultural educational facilities and programs. Pumpkins, corn, strawberries, sweet potatoes, farm animals, hay rides, rotten apple slingshots, and so much fun. I know my daughter had some. It was a wonderful return of a family favorite event, and we are so grateful for the amount of work that went into hosting our community. Kudos to the Schoen Farm team for a job well done. We'd also like to extend a warm welcome to Byron Reeves, the interim senior dean of students. In this role, Byron will provide administrative oversight and leadership for the Student Affairs Cluster, including student life, equity and engagement, student rights and responsibilities, student housing, intercultural centers, facility use and events, and bookstore and food service operations. Welcome, Byron. We'd also like to welcome Rome Romagnoli as the interim dean of language arts and academic foundations. In this role, Rome will provide administrative oversight and direction for this cluster, including departments like college skills and education, adult education, English, ESL, ethnic studies, humanities and religious studies, philosophy, and world languages. Welcome to the team, Byron and Rome. We appreciated the comprehensive faculty and staff ethnic diversity report provided earlier today by Jean Durand and Sarah Hopkins. We're pleased to see improvements and look forward to continuing to see growth and change in these numbers as the college focuses on this important area of DEIA work. It can be hard to encapsulate everything an entire organization does into a few simple sentences, but Dr. Jeremy Smotherman and the Strategic Planning Coordinating Committee have created a powerful mission, vision, and values to lead SRJC into its next chapter, which is starting sooner than we all think. It's difficult to corral the hundreds of voices and opinions on the matter, but they have grounded our work by calling out the students we serve. Without those students, we aren't a college. The new mission, vision, and values reflect who this college is, as well as the work we strive to do. Transform the lives of our community members through educational programs and supportive student services. It's quite a big job, but this college is doing it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's the end of the reports part of the agenda. We're now going to move on to information items. First item is first reading of Board Policy 1200, Mission, Vision, and Values. And just to remind the board for procedures, this is the first reading, which means this is the appropriate time for board comment or discussion. When it comes back for the second reading, it will just be on the agenda for approval. So this is the time for discussion and information, and we're going to start with a presentation by Dr. Smotherman.
Good afternoon again. President Banfield, Board of Trustees, Dr. Chong, College Community. It's my pleasure to present the work that we've been doing for BP 1200, our district mission, vision, and values. As a quick little background, we started this process in February of 2021. The Strategic Planning Council, sorry, the public, oh my gosh, I'm losing it. PBC. See, when you go on and leave, you start forgetting acronyms. The Planning and Budget Council convened a strategic planning coordinating committee to work on our town halls to really make sure we are updating our mission, vision, and value statements and getting the input from the entire college community. At that particular point in time, we were still mainly doing things over Zoom. So we had Zoom meetings every Friday, second and fourth Friday, and we also provided asynchronous opportunities for people to provide input. Information was given to Academic Senate, information given to Classified Senate, SEIU, AFA. There are also all members of the management team who are present and part of the coordinating committee as well. From all of the different feedback that we received over, when I did my last count, over 180 individuals participated in the town halls, multiple town halls, and they provided a great amount of feedback and data that the coordinating committee compiled together, analyzed, and were able to distill into a mission statement, a vision statement, and a value statement. On the behalf for everyone who may not have seen the board agenda, I will read them very briefly. So, when it comes to our mission statement, Santa Rosa Junior College transforms the lives of our culturally rich student body, employees, and community by cultivating a welcoming and anti-racist environment centered on social responsibility and cultural awareness. We offer exceptional teaching and learning in support of associate degree, certificate, transfer preparation, workforce preparation, and community education programs integrated with comprehensive student support services. What I'd like to point out for this particular aspect of our mission, vision, and value statements is that we start off saying what the goal of SRJC is: to transform lives, in terms of the atmosphere that we provide that as well. And then the tool that we utilize, which is our education. Education is still number one in terms of what we do and what we provide as a whole. For the vision statement, Santa Rosa Junior College commits to setting the standard and cultivating an accessible, open, barrier-free, sustainable environment for students, employees, and the community. The college envisions equitable, impactful, transformative, enriching, and holistic learning opportunities that inspire our students to thrive. Again, students are at the center of it in terms of what the outcome is, and they were expressing really the atmosphere that we provide, making sure that we include aspects of sustainability, anti-racism, diversity, equity, and inclusion. For our value statements, Sonoma County Junior College District values a healthy and resilient college grounded in kindness, innovation, collaboration, and restorative justice that identifies and removes oppressive structures. Teaching and learning that encompasses excellence, freedom, and responsibility in academics that promotes civic engagement, a love of learning, and success for all students. Community engagement and relationships founded on cultural competency, trust, embrace of difference, and interconnectedness. Well-being centered on physical and mental wellness of all members of our community. Integrity that emphasizes honesty, transparency, and ethical engagement. Effectiveness and district stability that supports fiscal responsibility, planning centered on student needs, and we also have our responsibility to the environment and society expressed in our commitment to sustainability and social equity. The key thing when you're looking at all the different aspects of our mission, vision, and value statements is that, one, it keeps students in the center. It identifies the culture that we want to have within our district, within outside of our community, and the impact that we have not only to our students, but to every single employee that we have here at SRJC. It's very difficult to encompass everything for everybody, but I feel like the mission, vision, and value statements do accomplish that goal, especially when I'm listening today in the board meeting, when I've heard the words of fiscal responsibility, mental health, well-being, interconnectedness, collaboration, kindness. I think those words in and of themselves show that the mission, vision, and value statements that were put together by the coordinating committee and vetted through a pretty lengthy process, because now we're 8 months into it, really represent really what's going on for SRJC, where we want to be at now, as well as where we want to be at in the future. So with that, I will stop my presentation if there are any comments for President Pettifeld.
Thank you. You have board member comments or questions? Trustee Fishman?
Hi.
Thank you for bringing this forward. There's a little bit of a typo, I think, in it says that the first reading was in September. And that we're doing a second reading right now, but I think that's probably just a typo. This is yeah, okay, it's our first reading. And just to be clear, because there was a reference by a previous report that we will be receiving comments about this. But process-wise, this has been going on for 8 months. There's been town halls, there's been involvement of the Academic Senate and all of the shared governance groups have all participated in this and all support this.
Correct, correct. So before anything comes to the board in terms of board policy, because this is policy beyond just the aspect of our mission, vision, and values, it must go through College Council first
Right.
to ensure that the process was followed. So College Council did approve before we put it to the board.
Okay.
So everybody has been
Okay.
a part of it.
Just because it was referenced that we were going to receive something by mail today, is that?
I believe the reference was for Academic Senate. There was additional discussion in Academic Senate and there is additional comments that they wanted to.
Okay, just comments. Okay, thank you.
And again, to clarify, this is our initial statement. And like our previous mission, vision, and value statement, then later we'll come back with more of the specific objectives. But this is going to set the tone for then the other items that'll, be explained in more detail. So as we develop those, there'll be more options for input and discussion. And this is just the beginning of the process. We have our initial set of, this is where we want to be. And then we'll be continuing with as part of the strategic planning. I just wanted to kind of clarify that for me and for everybody
No,
else.
thank you for that clarification. That is correct. The mission, vision, and values are very important for us to be able to set our objectives and goals. So this is the first part of the strategic planning process in and of itself. But really that work on the objectives and goals need to follow this mission, vision, and value statements being presented to the board.
Great, thank you. Let's see, student trustee.
I just want to personally thank you and the crew. I know I've rode with y'all and I have witnessed some crazy meetings when it comes to just one word and how long, should we say nice? No, let's say it fair. No, let's just use good. Or I'm just being really nice with those little small words, but it has been a lot of work. And I hope that the board just understand that it has just been hours and hours of this. And you have held strong with everyone going back and forth. And everyone was very respectful. We all agreed to disagree at times. And it was a long process. And I just want to thank you for being such a great leader.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else? I also just want to, thank the group thanks for everybody who participated, and it's, thanks for the work, and I think it's a really good result that you're presenting us. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, so, and this will be back for a second reading, in which case it'll be approved next month. All right, now we have ACCJC, our WASC accreditation update with Dr. Holcomb.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, members of the board. Dr. Chong, our president. Thank you, sir. Yeah. And good evening, members of our college community. I'm happy to give an update about our accreditation response plan. So just some quick background. Our accrediting commission is ACCJC, the Accrediting Commission for Community and Junior Colleges. That's a branch of WASC, Western Association of Schools and Colleges. And as part of that, we're on a 7-year accreditation cycle. So we're just coming off this process in this past spring, where we did our self-evaluation report, also known as our ICER. We had a peer review team site visit, and then the peer review team wrote a report and sent it to the commission. So we're just coming off of that process that we do every 7 years. As a result of that, over the summer, we received an action letter on June 14th, and the action letter that was from the commission It provided 3 commendations, 2 compliance requirements. It did reaffirm our accreditation for 18 months, and it's imposing or requiring that we provide a follow-up report and a follow-up site visit. So I'll go over this now. Our commendations. So one of the accommodations that we received was in regards to exemplary library learning support and student support services, especially in light of recent tragic calamities such as the wildfires and the pandemic. So kudos to those teams. That's very noteworthy. We received a commendation for our student housing project, another wonderful project for the college. So great job on that work. And the third commendation we received was with regard to our long-range plan for fiscal integrity or fiscal stability. So in those 3 areas, we got commendations, and I think we need to reflect upon that, and we can take pride in that. However, there were also 2 compliance requirements where it was identified by the commission that we're not meeting the standard accreditation standards. They both pertain to student learning outcomes, or SLOs. So we know the work that we need to do. And so one area where we need to get into compliance is with regards to the disaggregation of SLO data. We need to look at it by subpopulations according to demographic groups that we determine. So that's one area where we're laser focused on doing some work. And the second one, the second compliance requirement deals with developing a sustainable process for regularly assessing student learning outcomes and for ensuring that we have student learning outcomes on our course syllabi and on course outlines. And so we have some work here that we're going to do as well. So to summarize, we have a follow-up report that is due on October 1st, 2023, where we have to describe how we've made adjustments and we're now meeting the standards. After they receive the follow-up report, there will be an additional site visit where they may have additional questions and want to look at evidence. And then I wrote down this date, or I included this date because it's kind of a pivotal date we're gearing toward. There's a commission meeting scheduled for January 2024. That'll be the first opportunity where they can look at the work that we've done. They can give us a clear bill of accreditation for the rest of our accreditation cycle. So that's what we're aiming toward. I do want to be clear. So this little excerpt that you see comes directly from the action report. And it says, if the institution cannot document that it has come into compliance within the designated period, the commission will take adverse action. So this is serious, but we have a plan and we're on it. We're laser focused. And I have a lot of trust in my colleagues and our college community that we will come together to do this work and we will get to where we need to be when we need to get there. So just a few more. So let me go over the timeline with you. So this semester, we are adopting new SLO software that will help us to disaggregate student learning outcome assessments. That's a key step. We have vendor demonstrations scheduled for later this month. We're allocating resources toward SLO coordination with 2 new SLO faculty coordinators. We're in the process for identifying who they will be, but we've had applications for them. Also, as our Senate President mentioned, the Academic Senate is organizing an SLO faculty work group who will help us partner with us and really drive this work. And then they're going to be part of a fuller accreditation response team that will help us get into compliance in these areas that have been identified. That's this semester. Next semester in the spring, I'll begin to draft, I'll begin to work on a preliminary draft of the follow-up report where I'm indicating how we've made the adjustments. We're now in compliance with these different areas. And then by the end of the spring, we'll review the draft of the follow-up report with the college community. Over the summer, I'll be able to finalize the follow-up report, begin preparing for the follow-up site visit. The accreditation response team will remain engaged over the summer. And then in the fall, we'll make a presentation to the college community of the follow-up report that indicates clearly how we've come into compliance and we're now, really up to speed in this area. If there's desire, I can come back and do another board presentation at possibly a September board meeting or at another time of the board's choosing at the discretion of the president. And that will allow time-wise for us to then submit the follow-up report by October 1st, host the site team visit, and have the commission meeting, be ready for that meeting in January of 2024. So if you have interest and want to learn more about what SLOs entail at SRJC, there's a link that you could click on. But again, I think that this is critical work that we can do together, that we are doing together, and that we will get where we need to be in the allotted time. So I trust our college. And again, the last thing I'll say, and our leader here, Dr. Chong, has sometimes pushed me on this, is to remember not just the bureaucracy of it and the compliance of it, but how it's meaningful to support students, to make this work meaningful to student learning, student engagement. And so we're leaning into that aspect as well. So with that, I'm happy to open up for questions.
Thank you. Board member comments or questions?
Yeah, just I think that's just a really important point you made at the end, just not looking at this as sort of a compliance issue and a process issue, but really looking at how can we take these learnings and then integrate them back into the college and help us. So it's sort of, knocking out, not to have any PETA folks here, knocking out, a couple birds with one stone.
Right.
I think the only question that I have is, it seems to me, without having looked at the SLO or the software, understanding how the extent that we need to sort of build out these processes, that the data itself is fairly easy to get once we have those software and that technology in place and the process to do that. Like it's not a lack of not having that data. It's just a matter of putting in the infrastructure to get it.
Correct. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Thank you.
Anybody else? Yeah, thank you. And I do, I commend you for the work, I think it was, in general, I think we have to keep in mind that it was a really, really positive accreditation visit, all the commendations we got, where other colleges are facing different fiscal and, other overall big issues. I mean, these are significant issues, but still, I think it's very doable for us as a college to achieve. And I think you're right. Everybody's, it's all about helping students, and that's the whole point of the accreditation standards, is that we're doing as much as we can to help students be successful. So, and like you said, I think it's laid out what we need to do, and so I look forward to seeing further reports on how we're progressing. But thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you're right, we are here in Petaluma, which is exciting for us. Dr. Chong, President Battenfeld, Board of Trustees and Communities. As the Executive Dean of SRJC Petaluma, it's my pleasure to host you on our beautiful campus today. And it's even more of my pleasure to host you in this meeting, in this beautiful award-winning space that you're sitting in now, our Student Success and Engagement Center, which will be the focus of our presentation today. The center represents a vision collaboratively constructed by students and staff over several years. Its intentional structure of providing a safe, fun, and engaging center while being surrounded by our student success team and other supportive staff is at the heart of our philosophy here on campus, that we welcome, guide, and engage every student to their educational goals. It is now my pleasure to introduce Michelle Vidari, our Petaluma Director of Student Engagement and Support Services, to tell you more about this special place in which you sit. Michelle.
So good evening, President Batfield, Board of Trustees, Dr. Chong, college community. The last time I presented to you, I presented the outcomes from the first year launch of the Welcome and Connect Center in the Santa Rosa campus. So it sort of feels we're coming a little full circle, because part of what I'm going to share tonight is how we reorganized our services into this space and open up the Petaluma Welcome and Connect Center. I'm going to go back. So I want to first acknowledge the community who supported the redesign and rebuild. The vision was impeccable. And I was fortunate enough just to come along in the move-in and service design stage. So this is the new front of campus. So that's reinforced by the signage, the location of the Welcome and Connect Center. It's the main site for student events. And then just beyond this building is the new Student Support Center in Building 600. And this is the Welcome and Connect Center. So the Welcome and Connect Center team is co-located with admissions and records. And they also help with student accounts, student employment, and financial aid. And the Welcome Ambassadors sit at the reception area, and they serve students with onboarding needs. They serve as the Office of Student Life, and they also provide basic needs. Just behind the desk is a fully stocked food pantry. Now through that hallway, giving you a virtual tour, even though you're here, but you could do it in actuality when we're done. But through the hallway are other student engagement amenities. So we have the game room and the laundry room. And so these are services aimed at keeping students on campus between classes and during their study time. And so the overall goal is retention and completion. Right. So the kitchen area is not only the student lunchroom, but it also is an extension of our basic needs program. So following our free farmers markets, we do cooking demonstrations in that area. So we use the ingredients from the free farmers markets and the food pantry, and we show students how to make a nutritious meal with what we've provided them. So students who attend are provided the instruction, a meal kit, and a recipe card like you see here. And you met the student success team of peer coaches here before. So they're located in this area. And now they work supporting students with those skills you see here in the image in this common space here in the center. So one highlight of note is that during our last normal academic year, students who were served in their cohort had a fall to spring persistence rate 25% greater than the district as a whole. So, and they also remained pretty active during the pandemic. And I'm super happy to share that we just expanded our hours. We're open till 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday in this space. And in addition to being a place of student community, faculty often hold office hours in here as well. And learning communities and support programs like EOPS and Puente have held events and workshops in this space already. And then last year, this center was the location for the Fashion Studies Capstone Fashion Show. So it's definitely being used already. Now, partners like the Career Hub and Financial Aid have been holding office hours in this space as well. So in addition to serving students day-to-day financial aid needs in the Welcome and Connect Center, the Santa Rosa Financial Aid Office comes here once a week and holds appointments for students who need more elevated support for complex situations. And we also invite others to share the space as well. And the heated canopy area was a true gift during the peak of the pandemic. It served as the outdoor study space. It was the dance floor for the BSU winter solstice. And it continues to be the spot for the free farmers markets. So as designed, students can go into that door adjacent to the canopy and grab free milk and free eggs from the refrigerator and serve themselves during the free farmers markets. So in its first year launch, the Welcome and Connect Center, which is in the front of the house, we collected our wins a little bit differently because of the pandemic. So while we will measure our baseline data for students who receive those transactional service upon their semester completion rate, last year we focused on all the efforts we made to get here. And so our mantra was, let's build it as if they will come. And they finally came. But as such, we've been open Monday through Thursday since August of 2021. And the Welcome and Connect centers, both of them, have joined forces with student outreach in being one of the teams to quickly respond to emerging and temporary district student support needs. So in that spirit, they help students transition into the vaccine mandate last October through January. And they also ensured students have food and access to student life opportunities as we reopened. And then you'll see here, we were able to creatively create opportunities for student engagement throughout the pandemic last year. And we believe it created a really strong foundation for what we're seeing in here today. And by we, I do not mean me. This is the team of Petaluma Student Services. I've worked at 2 districts, which each had a big campus and a small campus. I worked at each of them. And the beauty of Petaluma Student Services is they act as a whole unit. So instead of it being a division of different departments, everybody collaborates, and that made all of these activities we've done possible. And I thank you for the time and welcome any questions you may have.
Thank you. Questions, comments?
Yeah, can I just say that I think you, in my opinion, you absolutely nailed this. I think that there's so much that we can talk about in terms of the second and third order effects on students and on faculty and the community with a space like this that having been here 2000 years ago when I was at the JC, this is just really, really special. This is really, really special. And I think it's a big deal. So kudos to you and the entire team and, fantastic job.
Thank you. I really take no credit. It was really all designed. I just got to like put it into action. Thank you.
I would just say too, that when I referenced a community event that was here, and some people never left this room for the whole, they were just enamored. And it was huge.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's that sticky feel, sticky campus that Matthew was aiming for. It's a good space.
Anybody else?
When I first started SGA, my position was here in Petaluma. And this is when we started picking out color and furniture. And when I walk in here, I'm just amazed at it. And I'm so proud of all the work. I know you put in a lot of work and a lot of hours. And Deborah, she's not here. Maybe she's on Zoom. And everyone at the fundraiser, I got to meet the actual people who put this together and the construction people. It was just awesome. And just how this is brought alive and you're keeping it open till 8 o'clock. That's amazing. That's amazing. And so I'm just gonna say on behalf of the students, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's amazing.
Well, I appreciate you being a whole contributing force in the design of this.
Video.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for your report. Thank you. All right, number 4, we have a report on the A to Mend International Conference in Accra, Ghana, and I think Dr. Chong is going to start it
Yeah.
off.
You're going to start it off?
Yeah,
You start.
I just want to introduce to the college community this wonderful presentation we're about to see. I saw it and blew my mind at Cabinet. And I want to appreciate Byron Reeves and Regina Maheri, George Salu and Cherry for bringing this to us as an opportunity for the JC to really support a trip that I think was transformational and a great professional development opportunity for us to be part of, I think, something that's really forward thinking and transformational. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Dr. Robert Ethington to introduce the team. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chong, President Battenfield, Board of Trustees, college community. Last month, well, actually it's 3 weeks ago, I think. It's very recent. That's right, that's right. Byron Reeves, Candy Bridgers, Regina Mahiri, and Dr. George Salu joined over 30 other California community colleges along with CSU and UC practitioners to attend the All African Diaspora Education Summit in Accra, Ghana, hosted by A2MEND and the University of Cape Coast. They're here today to give a presentation about their experience, what they learned, and how they would like to apply that learning in equipping the college with tools to build and better serve the African Black community here at SRJC. The ultimate goal is to uproot systemic anti-Black policy and structures that may exist at our college and in the California community college system. Here today, Candy Bridgers, who's our interim foster youth coordinator. And as you've already heard a couple of times, our new interim senior dean of students, Byron Reeves.
That intro was real. Dr. Chong, President Battenfield, Board of Trustees and college community, thanks for having us today. I've been introduced like 5 times, so I'm not going to introduce myself. I do want to say though, in this space, this is home for me. This is where I started. This campus is where I started. Shout out to all my Petaluma people. Whoop, whoop. Petaluma in the house. Matthew, you did an amazing job, and I was just happy student success team here. That's how I started. So anyways, I just wanted to say I'm home, and it feels good to do this presentation home, and home is very apropos for where we went in our journey back to Africa. And I want to thank the college community for sponsoring this trip and this work. And so since 2020, our nation and our college had to really come to terms with the anti-Black and the oppression of the Black community in this country, in California, and on this campus. And we did, somewhat. Okay, cool. And in this picture, you'll see Dr. Corey Timberlake, who's one of our Black psychologists here. And we had work to do. And I applaud my college community for engaging in that work. Since 2020, I think we had almost 100 faculty, staff, administrators, managers, students engage in work that was called on us by our BSU to do through communities of practice, through blackouts and call outs, Dr. Sean, through our BSU, our strong BSU. Our college community had to engage in this work, and we had to figure out how to center Blackness at this campus. And for the most part, we did, but this work was for us. And this work was going back. We joined over, as Robert said, over 30 other California community college who sent over, some of them sent 30 people, right? So we sent 4, but some of them sent 30 people because this is how serious this work is. And we sent our 4, and we sent the strong 4. And we engaged in work. This was not a trip. This was not an adventure. We started at 7:30 every morning, and we ended at 7 p.m. every night, working in a group with folks to really figure out how we can bring this work back to California, as well as decolonizing what's happening in Ghana. I'm going to let Candy talk about some of our activities there. And yeah, thank you.
So while we were there, as Byron said, it was very impacted days, right? Literally 12-hour days. So we did quite a few things. One of the very first things that we did was we visited the Cape Coast Castle. And I bring that up because as excited as I was to go to a different country for a summit, one of the questions that sat with me was, why are we going all the way to Africa, right? Because I've been to many A2Men conferences here in California. And one of the things that I will say is that it was way more impactful having been in the space of where our ancestors came from, to also learn about practices that we needed to support students here back in America, right? So one of the very first places we went to was the Cape Coast Castle, which is where we was one of the main hubs of where slavery went through, right? So we walked in those spaces and we got to experience those spaces in person. We also heard from many professors that gave us a lot of information about Pan-African centered education, right? And Pan-African centered education, in my opinion, is centered in cultural sovereignty, right? And so it was a very impactful trip. And so I apologize, I don't know how to use this little clicker. Okay, thank you. And so one of the biggest things that we are bringing back and that we learned about was that the educational systems in America were not built to support Black students, right? So the only way that we can move forward is by dismantling and then reconstructing all of our educational systems. And that is essentially the best way to support Black students. Otherwise, until we get there, we are just placing Band-Aids over our current systems that we have. Some of the other things that we experienced while we were there was, thank you, Byron, was the effects of colonialism, right? So it was very present in Ghana as it is here within our communities in America, right? And I just want to share a little tidbit with you all that's kind of off the record that I didn't plan, but one of the things that we learned was that the people who upheld the systems that upheld the slave trade, essentially, they didn't just go away, right? So they are still very prevalent in Ghana and in Africa. One of the biggest companies is Nestle, right? And so very prevalently everywhere in Ghana, there are Nestle signs. They're serving you Nestle cocoa. There's Nestle products, right? And so one of the biggest soccer teams also is upheld by a person who essentially was one of the main people who upheld slavery. So I say that to say that the effects of colonialism is still very prevalent in Ghana as it is here in the US. And so, and that's for mental and emotional spaces. So I'm gonna pass it back over to Byron.
It's hard to cover that 7 days and however many minutes we have. And the impact is tremendous. And so what we want to do here is think about the responsibility our community has to doing this work, to moving this work along. And it's not just the work of the 4 folks that went, but it's all of y'all's work. This is a calling to the community to start to center this work. This is a call into the community. If this trip comes up again, that we should be sending 42 people, and that people in this room should go experience what it is to center African students in the African experience. And so what was super dope and what was awesome is that we get to come back, and not only do we bring back work, but we bring back joy. We bring back smiles. We bring back the life of our students here. We celebrate our life of our students here, and we continue to do that work. And we are happy to do that work. There were UC folks there. There were CSU folks there. We built really great relationships. And we want to put that work back on our college. Let's build those relationships on the backs of the work here and not the backs of Black folks here. And so we are happy, we are joyful for the opportunity. And we just hope that our community takes this opportunity to step up to the plate and do what's right, to rethink every system, every policy with an African-centered lens, and to undo some of the harm that's been done to the Black community here. And so please feel free to reach out to Dr. Shalou, and shout out to Regina. I hope she gets better, and Candy, if y'all want to hear more about our experience. But we're happy to take any questions. And again, thank you, board, for allowing us this opportunity to go do this work. Thank you.
Thank you. Board member comments or questions?
Of course, Delisha, I got a question. My chief question is, why wasn't the president of BSU taken on this trip? Or the student trustee?
It's a good question for the retiring president. No, so this was, so this trip was 100% faculty, staff, and administrators, and the board of trustee, Patricia Hayes, was also in the building. And so this was all for us. But Amin does sponsor African-American males to go back to Africa every year, and they go to different parts of Africa. So next year, hopefully we include students, and whoever the BSU president is, we definitely want to take.
I will congratulate whoever that person will be. It will not be me. But I do suggest that you do take students with this I think this would have been an awesome experience for any of of our Black students. It would have been great. And I think the job well done. I think this is great. And I totally agree with you. I know we have spent many of hours fighting for our demands to be met. We've worked very hard with BSU. And I just want to just say that those demands are still, like I'm taking off that trustee hat and putting on my BSU hat. Those demands are still on the table, and we may seem quiet, but we certainly have not dropped the ball. We're still having those demands strong, and everyone will be hearing the new demands that are coming out pretty soon. Thank you.
Trustee Martinez?
I just wanted to say that this is super dope. Very excited for you guys. I've gone to South Africa. I had to do research on the education and the disparities and all of that. And I feel for you guys. I think this is an amazing experience because sometimes you do need to go home and reevaluate and then reevaluate what we already know and don't know, and really deconstruct a lot of the what we've been raised with, especially in the US context. But I think this is an amazing experience, and I do hope that I'm in for the challenge, but that the board and our community does take on the challenge of how to do we decolonize and deconstruct higher education, because it is a big issue and it's not just affecting African-American communities, affecting a lot of our communities. But going back to even through the employment and our biases, I think that's part of what is a bias. How does that work? Because we can do all of this work to hire people, but how do we do it internally? To reflect, right? Like that experience, to understand what that means, to be uncomfortable, never become comfortable with uncomfortable, but be uncomfortable and be okay with that. And then move from there so that you can grow, especially as someone who works in higher ed. I completely, understand. And I was really excited when I heard that you guys were going, because I thought in my head, I'm like, yeah, you always need to go home and see those things, someone who can go home, like literally I can fly, anytime. I can see how our systems are built and what that means, and then what it means for us in this other context. So I'm excited for you guys. And again, we hope that we take the challenge and continue to be working on this.
Yeah, and thank you also. And again, I don't necessarily want to give people more work to do, but I do think, just as a former high school student, it just sounds real exciting. And I'm really hoping that as we, I think it's great, the partnerships with CSU and UC, but I'm also hoping we can share some of this work and knowledge with some of our K-12 colleagues too, as well, especially since, yesterday was the old Columbus Day, which at least is part, one of my grandkids, again, experienced not such good information about one of the first enslavers, in the Americas, and still not getting good curriculum. So I think, whatever we can do to decolonize the curriculum all the way back to preschool. But anyway, thank you very much. All right, next item is just to acknowledge the 6th annual undocumented Student Week of Action, which we already had public comment on, and I appreciate the LFSA bringing that up and emphasizing that. And again, I think Dr. Chong just wants to say a couple of things about it. There is
Yeah.
no presentation.
I'd just like to reinforce what was said by LSFA. And we support that. And this is a time where the JC needs to stand strong in support of any anti-immigrant, any undocumented folks. We've already taken a strong stance during the previous administration, and now it's rearing its ugly head. And I think just we need to stand firm. And let the college community know that community colleges are access for all. And it didn't say all, but an asterisk, except so-and-so. So we need to continue to keep community colleges accessible to all. I appreciate the board's support of this, and it means a lot to the community. We've had too many people in the community at the college and in our Sonoma County live in the shadows. And it's time for everybody to come out in the shadow, enjoy the sunlight. And that's what we saw yesterday at the beautiful Native American Indigenous Peoples Day. And people feeling the sunlight and coming out of the shadows. And that has to happen for all people of ethnicities, different religions, LGBTQ. You know, we're a big tent at SRJC, and we have to stay that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to comment on this item? And again, yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to comment that there's for the services or information, there's a webinar from the Community Foundation, and then there is programming from the Dream Center on the campus. So just to clarify, because we're doing it the same, and then, so that's why I want to clarify that there's opportunities for you, for especially administrators and all that within the Community College Foundation webinars, and then there is programming obviously around students and things like that on the campus for that week. So in case you are like, I don't know what to attend, there's different options for you.
And then the last information item is just the board nominating committee appointments. And again, this is a committee that will bring in November that will bring forward nominations for board officers for next year. So I'm going to appoint trustee Fishman, Lindley, and Cundy to this committee. And again, they'll bring forward their recommendation for officers for next year. And then in December, it will be an agenda item for the board to vote and approve a slate of officers for next year. So thank you. All right. Thanks for everybody. We're going to take just a real quick stretch break so everybody can, again, since we had a mention of mental health and physical health, everybody get up and stretch, and then we'll see you very shortly. That's why I have a gavel. I've never gotten to use it before. All right, thank you. And we'll now continue our meeting with E, with the consent agenda. And we have a consent agenda items 1 through 16. Are there any that any of the trustees wish to pull and put on the action agenda? All right, then I need a motion and a second to approve consent agenda items 1 through 16, please.
Motion to approve.
All right. And again, this does not need to be a roll call vote now that we're here in person. So all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, moving on now to the action agenda items. I'm starting with F1, personnel actions for October 11th, 2022. I need a motion and a second, please. All right, is there any public comment? Any board member comments? All right, then all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? All right, moving on to F2, August 19th, 2022 to September 15th, 2022 warrants. I need a motion and a second, please.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Any abstentions? Student trustee Benson? All right, is abstained, I believe, from her vote. All right, now F3, award of contract for the student information system software to Lucian for Banner, SAS, ERP, Essentials. We're going to have a presentation from Kate Jolly.
There we go. All right. Good afternoon, President Battenfeld, Board of Trustees, Dr. Chong, College Community. I am thrilled to be here to present the following 2 action items related to our transition to a new student information system, or SIS. So back in 2017, we went through a selection process to replace our enterprise software and our SIS. That process concluded with a recommendation to pause to allow the vendors time to come up with some additional improvements that we were hoping to see in our new system. Fast forward to now, and our new process started about a year ago with an RFP for the new software. At the same time, we also did an RFP for a consultant to help assist with that process and facilitate the system demonstrations. Strata Information Group, or SIG, was the awarded vendor in that process. We did the vendor demonstrations in the spring. After that, a steering committee got together, reviewed the extensive college community feedback that had been received, and recommended moving forward with a deeper dive into the Banner system. During the summer, we worked closely with Lucian to identify and try to get past any areas of concern that had been identified by the user groups. We have now completed that process, and I am happily confident to officially recommend that we award the contracts for the new SIS now. So we quickly found out in this process that there is no such thing as one complete system out there. We have a couple multiple recommendations for you. So the first is Banner from Lucian to be the new student information system. In addition, there are a couple smaller modules that we're going to need to purchase separately that will integrate with Banner. These include Coursely for curriculum and TouchNet for student accounts. If the word for Banner is approved today, we'll bring those forward to the next meeting for approval. In addition, as Dr. Holcomb mentioned, we are currently exploring student learning outcome software to address the accreditation recommendations. It's not part of this selection process, but because any software that we select for that initiative needs to integrate with our current SIS,
And our new SIS, we're carrying it out with the same process that we've used. Finally, the other action item for you today is an award of the contract for change in project management to SIG. SIG was the successful vendor, as I mentioned, from the original RFP for a consultant to support the process. They work at a national level and they have become very invaluable to us in this process. I am recommending that we award that contract under the administrative provisions of government code that allow the district to contract for professional services without having to competitively procure it. However, to do our due diligence, we did do cost comparisons with other purchasing co-ops to confirm that we were getting competitive pricing. So the SIS touches on everyone in the district. I don't think anybody will escape being a part of this process. The modules that we are looking to transition include the student and faculty portal, counseling and case management, which is our EOPS, DRD areas, admissions and records, financial aid, our student accounts, which is cashiering, and then curriculum and scheduling. We have a document management function in it, CRM advise, and reporting. So this is a major commitment by the district. We did anticipate this and we included it in the bond description that went out to the voters for Measure H, and this will be paid out of Measure H funds through the IT allocation. So that being said, 5 years of software costs will be about 5.9 million. For implementation, we are planning on internal and external support for that. That'll be an additional 5.96 million. As part of the project, I'm including about 1.15 in the project contingency for an overall cost for 5 years of $13 million. So our next steps, if you approve the 2 action items in the agenda next, we will bring you the course leaf and TouchNet contracts next month, and then we will finish negotiating the contracts and sign. We will then move into drafting the implementation process, creating the teams. We hope to kick off January, possibly February of 2023. We anticipate this will be probably 2 to 3 year implementation. It is quite extensive. There is a lot of design to do, testing, all of it, and then we will go live. So we will keep up-to-date project information at the financeadmin.santarosa.edu website, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Do you have any board member questions or comments? Thank you, and thanks for everybody who participated in this. Right, it's a big change, but it sounds like we need it, so. All right, I need a motion and a second, please, for F3, award of contract for the SAS software. Second. All right, do we have any public comment? Or any board members' comments or questions before we vote? All right, so then we're voting now on F3. All those in favor? Say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. All right, and now moving on to F4, it's the award of contract for services for implementation of the student information system software to Strata Information Group. I need a motion and a second, please. Second. All right, any public comment? All right, any board member comments or questions on this? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or any abstentions? All right. F5, which is grants, new and amendments, including resolution 29-22. I need a motion and a second, please. Second. All right, do we have any public comments? Or any board member comments or questions? All right, and as this is a resolution, then this is a roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. On to F6, Resolution 30-22, changes to the adopted budget. I need a motion and a second, please. All right, any public comments? Board member comments or questions? All right, again, this is a roll call vote. Aye. 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 Thank you. And then finally, resolution 31-22 for change order number 9 for the Garcia Hall renovation. This was discussed in the earlier report. I need a motion and a second, please. Motion. So moved. Thank you. Any public comments? Any board member comments or questions? Yeah, and thanks for the thorough explanation before. I appreciate it. All right, roll call vote. Aye. Aye. Thank you. Thanks for everybody for sticking with us and for a long meeting. Thanks to Dr. Chong. And again, I think I'll adjourn in recognition for yesterday's Indigenous Peoples Day. So thank you, and everybody have a good evening. We'll see you next month.